The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
What's up and what's going on, fellow fanatics? Appreciate everybody being here tonight with us. We got some news that we are going to jump into tonight with you guys. There is some stuff going on. A lot of the Jonathan Major stuff I wanted to dive into, and then of course I wanted to dive into some of the things going on with Pedro Pascal being rumored or closed deal to being Reed Richards or whatever it might be. Sorry, she's
That shit's stupid.
they've been her family, her cat family has been pretty mean to her today. So, and this is my baby, so she gets to come in here with me today. Ain't that right, Mommy? So, we're gonna dive into all of those things tonight, and with all of you guys. And baby, let's not do that though. Let's turn. Not about that one. Okay, let's turn around. Okay. There you go. So we're going to dive into all those things with you guys tonight, and it's not just myself, obviously. Q is here with me as well. So Q, how are you doing tonight? Your shit's still dark.
Damn. Tonight, I guess today been casual. The start of this week been slow. I had to go finesse my way out of a drug test for a new job yesterday. Then, just dead ass been painting, helping my mom with the house, sleeping. I started watching. Damn, I can't think of. Damn. Started watching Blacklist, that show.
Oh yeah.
Niggas is goated. Dead ass haven't hopped. I'm already on season 5. I started like 3 days ago, but other than that, dead ass. Time goes by like so slow if I'm not here.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not here watching a sports game or some shit.
Yeah, well, they've definitely given us a lot to talk about in here. Don't do it, Mama. A lot to talk about in here with these past. A lot to talk about in here with these past few days and things that have been going on in the news as far as Marvel's concerned, and we're definitely going to dive into it. I'm sorry, my mic wasn't in front of me when I was originally talking, but if you guys didn't hear what I was saying was we're going to dive into some of the Kang the Conqueror stuff, some of the stuff going on with Marvel Studios. Are they pivoting away from Kang? And it looks like all signs are pointing that they are actually pivoting away from Jonathan Majors and Kang the Conqueror. But we're also going to dive into the Madam Web. Well, not really dive into. We're going to watch the Madam Web trailer. We're going to watch the What If Season 2 trailer. We are also going to, like I said, talk about Pedro Pascal being rumored to now be Reed Richards. We're also going to talk about what we talked about a little bit last week was Tom Hiddleston when he originally said what he said on the Jimmy Fallon show, and now saying that, well, don't count Loki as being gone, what we all kind of said.
Today, what you thinking, Draymond?
Oh, I mean, I don't like Draymond, as we all know. But
Dorian, let me tell you when I seen that video, I started crying tears, bro. I've never seen an NBA player run up on a nigga so fast. And then I don't know if you've there's like a whole Twitter thread on them niggas beef and shit when Draymond made fun of him for crying, not making an All-Star game. Then Rudy made fun of him for posting his shit on, when Draymond posted his shit on Snapchat on accident. Rudy was, bro, I understood. Them niggas got real beef. But that nigga Draymond needs to go, bro.
This is the one rare time I support
some niggas say they
Dre.
need to tranquilize that.
This is the one rare time I support Dre. And the only reason I say rare time I support Dre, because I don't ever support Dre, is because it's a family thing when it comes to a team, bro. Like,
nah, bro, that nigga Rudy is right, bro. That nigga Draymond is Steph's biggest beat rider, bro. That nigga.
Maybe, but that's my if I'm on the team and that's my point guard and he's unanimous MVP and he's taking me here and he's taking me there, bro, I'm going to protect the fuck out of my point guard.
Yeah, that nigga Draymond that nigga knows Steph made him. I mean,
easy.
I'm not gonna lie, that nigga Draymond dead ass. I just don't. That nigga's not playing basketball last 2 years, bro. 2-3 years.
No.
I just.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not a Draymond fan at all. I personally, I've said it over and over, and I'll say it again. Dre, in my opinion, if I were over there, would have been gone after 2016's 3-1 lead that we blew. That was completely on him. That was his fault.
Up, bro.
Yeah.
I think I ain't never seen a 7-footer get snatched up like that, bro. He ran up on that nigga so fast.
Yeah.
Draymond.
Like I said,
I'm sure that's not his last incident of the year. You know, we 10, 11 games into the season.
No, it won't be.
All-Star break gonna come around.
But like I said, we're gonna get into some of that other stuff there. Let's see. Sprite, you're gonna have to pick a spot. Pick a spot. Let's see. Make sure I have everything pulled up. Let's go ahead and dive into What If first. The What If Season 2 trailer. I'm not a fan of What If either. So we'll see what this trailer is about, and we'll move on from there. I haven't seen any trailers today, so whatever reaction you see from me is going to be a genuine reaction. Alright, here we go. Let's dive into the What If trailer first.
This kid puts on quite a show.
I have eyes on the target. He does not look all that threatening.
Looks can be deceiving, Your Highness.
Are you sure you do not want any backup?
Nah, I'm great with kids.
He's voicing T'Challa.
You thought the story was
Who?
over, but it was only just beginning.
I think that episode is like, what if the first
I don't do sequels normally, but things have gotten a little twisted in the multiverse.
Who is this handsome dog? I've been looking for you for a long time. Time. Just be careful. I don't think I can bear to narrate
What's her name?
what might happen next.
I forgot is the original Luke.
Yeah. Forgive me.
Darcy, we got a code red. The Avengers Tower's been overtaken.
On Christmas? What is this, Con Air? No, wait, Under Siege? No. Oh, that's not it.
Hey, John McClane, focus.
Are they dropping them all on Christmas?
No, they drop like one a day.
Oh, up until Christmas.
No, like till there's 9 episodes. They start up till New Year's shit.
Oh, I see. Well,
Starts on the 22nd.
well, for me, as as we all know over here, I'm not a big fan. If I don't even want to call myself a fan of season 1 of What If. I'm not even a fan of the comics of What If. Like I said, my energy of towards What If has always been the same. What if we didn't do it? So it's it looks like there were some of them, just like this first season. There were some episodes of the first season where I did watch them and that I did like. There were some in the first season I did like, but I didn't watch a lot of them. Like I think I only saw the zombie one, I saw the Doctor Strange one, and I saw the Star-Lord one. That was it. Those are the the finale.
Shit just wasn't relevant.
The finale. Yeah, it wasn't relevant. But that was it. So, I mean, I'm sure there were some in this, from what I saw, that I will probably want to see and tune into, but I'm not going to watch probably the whole season and things like that. But, hey, it's something, I guess, something to watch until...
Like background noise.
Yeah, 2024, honestly. I mean, I have nothing to say toward it, really, besides that.
No, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed. I don't know why they keep doing shit with Doctor Strange in there that's so much better than the shit they do in live action, and then don't bring that shit. I don't know, like, if I'm being honest, like, the characters aren't bad that they put in What If or anything. It's just they have no relevance to what's at stake. Like, shit, dead ass a 20-minute episode and we're done. Like, I thought they were going to have relevance to the bigger picture, some shit being in the whole universe or whatever.
I mean, but what really is at stake in the MCU anymore?
Right.
What does that mean? What does that mean in the MCU anymore? Is there even a threat?
Yeah, that's just another issue for them.
But that's What If. I'm sure everybody has seen that trailer by now, but that's our first time seeing it. And we'll of course be watching some of the episodes and talk about them, I guess. Sporadically, the ones we do like, the ones we don't like, here and there when they do drop. But, as always, questions for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. What are you guys thinking of the What If Season 2 trailer? Are you excited for What If Season 2? Did you watch Season 1? Or are you going to only tune into some episodes or no episodes? Let us know all those thoughts, comments down below. And we'll move into Madam Web before we start answering. Actually, we'll move through everything, then we'll do some little Q&A there at the end. But let's see Madam Web first. Again, this is another trailer I have not seen.
3 fucking minutes, bro.
Oh, is it 3 minutes?
Oh,
Damn.
Desperate.
What do you want from me? Why do you care for me? Why do you know?
Oh no. What's that? What was that dude's name that made that racist Spider-Man movie? What got canceled? What was his name? What was the name of that movie? What's the name of it? Come on, I know the chat knows. I know they know. Somebody in the chat knows. What was the name of that movie? I know the dude's name was Wade, but what was the name of the movie they were making? Lotus. Thank you, Raptor Cloak. Lotus. That shit looked like Lotus. The quality, it looked very
iMovie.
Like Superman Lois, CW, Flash, TV quality. Sony doesn't get it. They're not getting it. The one thing I will say though, we're obviously still gonna go see this film. This is one that it's still. Here's the thing about Madam Web. Although this looks the way it does look, I still hold on to my same theory. I still hold on to my same theory about it. It looks like a snooze fest. It looks terrible. I'm not ignoring anything Hugh's saying. I'm not ignoring anything the chat's saying. It does. It looks like Sony. Looks like Sony gonna Sony. So we are looking at Madam Web, though. We understand who Madam Web is. We understand the events of Madam Web. We understand that this particular version of Madam Web did serve a purpose in Secret Wars, and then we also know that, well, a purpose, but it appeared in Secret Wars. And which, I mean, I still hold on to my theory. I think that all of this is still going to somewhat connect or somehow connect into Secret Wars. We know that the events of this film are supposed to affect Venom 3 from new reports now are supposed to affect Venom 3. I don't think that this film has anything to do with the animal activist writer Craven. I don't think it has anything to do with Craven, but it does. I believe what the reports are saying is that the events of this film will have an effect on the events of Venom 3. But as far as what this film looks like and things like that, it still just doesn't do it for me. Do I think that Sydney Sweeney? I wish they would have done the white on Spider-Woman, but instead of having the eyes open, but the glimpse we got of her costume, she looks good. The costumes look fine. Ezekiel Sims is a fine villain. I mean, I think that they could have done this a little bit differently, but it's everything we talked about in the reports when we were reporting on this stuff a long time ago. I mean, it's the Terminator time travel film. He's going back in time trying to kill Mary Parker to prevent the birth of Peter Parker, which is what we all assume to be Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, but who knows? So, I mean, hey, Madam Web. Madam Web.
If that didn't kill all anticipation, I don't know what else would. Like, 3-minute trailer and niggas straight faced that motherfucker.
It wasn't good.
And they showed a lot. Like, nigga, I feel like I just watched the movie, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, not once in that 3 minutes was I like
corny, cheesy spots though.
Like, I don't know. I don't think, like you said, does Sony get it? The answer would be they don't get it. Them niggas don't get it. That shit looked horrible. Like, at this point, it sounds bad. I'm there for women in Spider-Man suits. Like, fuck the plot. Like, nigga, I don't care to go watch that shit if it's gonna be a fucking Morbius-ass movie, bro. I'm telling you that shit right now, that shit's gonna stink. That shit's gonna be a big load of horseshit. That shit's gonna be so... And I hate to even say it, but I'm gonna be honest, nigga. It'll probably, like some people in the chat are saying, it'll make more than the Marvels. Probably. It'll probably make money. That movie's going to fucking suck. Like,
yeah, it is.
Sony don't know what to do with Spider-Man, honestly. They just know that nigga makes money.
They don't know what to do with anything with his catalog, and it's sad because his entire catalog is getting wasted along with him over there. I mean, they've yet to use him outside of Miles, and we haven't seen a Spider-Man show up in a Sony live-action film since. I mean, I'm not counting any of this Marvel Spider-Man stuff. What, Andrew Garfield? Was it? I think that was the last Spider-Man movie.
I mean, but all the worries we had when we first started talking about it are just what's going to come true. This shit was rushed. Like, it's not the time for it in their universe. They were talking about they want to do this big multiversal thing already.
Yeah.
They're about to introduce 5-6 new characters that only comic book readers and then niggas who know the web of life, those are the only people who are going to know about everything. Not the average moviegoer is going to sit there and be like, oh, I know what's going on. Like, they're going to have to actually descriptively explain that, I feel like, which might take probably the first 20 minutes of the movie.
I wonder how they're going to explain the whole, Ezekiel Sims. Because, Ezekiel Sims, again, this is another, like you just said, not just the Spider-Women, but the villain himself is not, unless you're a comic book reader or a Spider-Man fan like that, you don't know who Ezekiel Sims is. Ezekiel Sims is not a villain that is known like that, but, explaining who Ezekiel Sims is, I mean, I don't know if what they're going to do with his origin in Sony. Is it going to differ from what it is in the comics and things like that? But as far as, who he is, I mean, he kind of got his powers. He got his powers from a spider totem, and it's like, it's. So I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna explain him and his purpose of what he's trying to do in the film and things like that. I mean, maybe they're gonna explain it as easy as that corny line that she explained when he was like, "How do you know this guy?" Well, I saw him when he was with my mother in the rainforest when he killed her, or when my mother died. Like that was it was very like.
Maybe that was it.
But it was very corny. Like, that was just like...
My mother was researching spiders.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Sony doesn't get it. No. They don't get it. And it's just, Spider-Man's catalog is being wasted, so... But, like I said, we'll see it. We'll see what it's like.
Now, that is something that might not get paid for.
We'll see what happens in the film.
Sony like that.
After the 50 whatever bucks spent on Marvels, that's not for you.
Yeah, nah. Man, niggas thought they were getting an incursion and didn't even get it.
Yeah. But, as always, let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. What are you guys thinking of the Madam Web trailer? Are you thinking that that looks like something you're wanting to go see, or are you guys kind of the opposite? Are you like, that looks real corny? Because I've seen a lot of people saying on online that it does not look up to par, up to the hype that we were thinking that it was going to be. So let's now know all the comments what you guys are thinking. All right, move to the next here. Actually, let's what are people saying about that one? We'll go ahead and see what people are saying about that.
Blues House said Ezekiel Sims is being wasted. He could be a real viable treat. Should be introduced in the actual Spider-Man movie.
Agreed. Said fans don't even know who he is.
D Steel said they're doing Ezekiel, but what's up with Moreland?
And that's another thing too. Like, to do Moreland, I would love to see Moreland done, but to do Moreland, that's another one of those villains that's that deep Spider-Man lore. You have to be like, and that doesn't mean that they couldn't introduce Moreland as a villain to fans that never seen him before and be like, you know, there were plenty of people that didn't know who Thanos was or Loki before Avengers or anything like that. So that's not to say they couldn't introduce him and make him, you know, but you'd have to have somebody behind that really knows that lore.
Mega said, I don't know what to say about Miles Morales, but Madam Web looks kind of good from the trailer. Hey, I'm going to disagree.
She said, let's try that again.
No, she was under me earlier, and I was like, damn, I feel bad. Let me see. Sir Yuri G said, and this is why I'm afraid of Sony doing a live-action Miles Morales.
That is scary. That's a scary thought, you know? Can Sony handle a live-action Miles Morales film?
I mean, that's Raymond said, I'm scared of Sony and the MCU doing Miles live-action. Both have the possibility to mess it up.
Who would you put behind it? Lord Miller? Let them do it since they did the animation? I think Lord and Miller have kind of proven that they can handle some multiversal stuff. They handled Across the Spider-Verse really well.
Damn, who said that? The Jinx said, I think it would be better than the Marvels, just with more sexier appeal. I'm telling you right now.
That's what everybody's...
I'm telling you right now, I know more than plenty niggas going for Sydney Sweeney.
That's what everybody online is. That's the conversation. The conversation is not, oh, Madam Web looks great. The conversation is Sydney Sweeney.
She cool. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I felt like in that, for me personally, I don't dislike Sydney Sweeney. I mean, obviously, I wasn't introduced to Sydney Sweeney until I saw Euphoria, but
like,
I felt that character was
Madam Web that you didn't get in Euphoria though. Like,
that's what I felt that the acting.
If you were to see Sydney Sweeney, just go watch Euphoria. You're like,
the acting she just gave in that trailer was very, very. Whoever she plays in Euphoria.
Is it Cassie?
Oh, Cassie, yeah.
You just want to punch her in the face,
Sprite,
bro. I'm not... Like, deadass, that's how she looked, though. Like, with her glasses on and everything. Like, she looks like just ready to get bullied in everything she's playing. I'm like, bro.
Right.
Swear I just watched her train in MMA. SP Flash said the trailer was very CW.
Yeah. Very CW.
Ricardo said, sad thing is it'll probably make more than the Marvels.
Likely.
Dorian said, I know people were fan casting her as Black Cat. Dorian also said, for Sony, Spider-Man should have just be Andrew instead of trying to fit a new Spider-Man in there. Madam Web seems interesting. I'll watch it. I don't know that much about the character of Madam Web. No, the philosophy of it and the character is outstandingly interesting, but Sony.
Yeah.
And not even that, just the way everybody's been writing their comic book movies, and this is going to be like their first go at like the multiverse.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't fuck it up because it is interesting. My fault, I'm scrolling up a little.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't care, but I agree with D Stizzle. I don't care.
I'm trying to go to some of those what if ones. These Steels said for what he said, the animation looks great. I'll probably dig half of the episodes. I mean, they won awards for the graphics.
I will give them that. Animation did, I'm not the biggest fan of that style of animation, but does it look good? Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of animation stuff.
There he said, so they switched Star-Lord to T'Challa for his daddy. No, yeah, they're doing... I don't even know who the other ones are, though. All I know is T'Chaka, Pym. I don't know who else they're doing. Like, all the original Avengers. I'm not gonna lie. Not too many what-if comments. Blues House said, Madam Web trailer actually surprised me, but not enough for a movie ticket.
Yeah.
And then D. Steele said Cassandra Webb is way too young here. That was another thing. I was like, why the fuck is... Never mind. You get it. Ricardo said, y'all peeped that Wonder Man is supposed to start production after Thanksgiving.
I saw that. I thought to myself, well, wasn't that shit canceled?
It was. No, it's not. It's bad.
And they brought that back. Well,
Sir Yuri G said, it would have been a better idea if they wanted to do something different than Spider-Man, would probably be good, do a Jessica Drew movie. I don't know. I personally don't think Madam Web should have been the first one off the track, but hey, if that's what it takes. Hungry Almighty said, what if it's trash there? Bring back X-Men, bring back Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Wolverine, and X-Men. Spectacular Spider-Man ECC, stop with the lazy what if Marvel.
I don't know.
Shit, they probably just want to win them awards again. They little Grammys in.
Jake, grab her.
That's pretty much all of them outside of talk about Reed Richards. Unless you see any. Ricardo said Sony's gonna hold Spider-Man license for hostage. That's what they've been doing for like 10, 15, 20, however long they've had it. 20.
Yeah. You can move that keyboard so she doesn't step on it if she wants to be on that desk. But we'll move Tom Hiddleston. She's gonna keep coming over here to me. She's all right. Let's talk Tom Hiddleston and what he was talking earlier this week. So last week Tom Hiddleston talked on Jimmy Fallon, where he said, he had finished a 14-year, or was it 14? Yeah, I think he said 14-year journey, or 12 or 14-year journey of him playing Loki, and he felt as if what they did in the finale of Loki was them finally closing that chapter of his career and things like that. So, which led to a lot of people saying, oh well, Tom Hiddleston hinting at Loki being gone, or Loki not returning, or him not coming back to Loki, or whatever it might have been. And again, I just was like, many other people, a lot of people were believing it, but some people were like, in order for some of these stories to be told, and maybe not so much anymore if Kang, they're deviating away from Kang, but at one point I thought, Loki is one of the only people that knows who Kang is, one of the only people who knows what Kang's after, one of the only people that knows of his existence and anything like that. So he would, in my opinion, was going to be one of the people, heralds, that told the Avengers, told everyone who Kang was and things like that, but and including Ant-Man. But no, that may not even happen anymore if they're deviating away from Kang. But this is what Tom Hiddleston had to say. He said, "It's so hard because I'll be completely honest with you. I I have at least twice in my life said goodbye. I've written to Kevin Feige and Louis D'Esposito and Victoria Alonso and been like, thank you so much. It's been like the role of a lifetime in there. And they've written notes back saying, come and see us anytime. You're always part of the family. We're always here. You've given us so much and tears. You've given us so much and tears have been shed. So I think I'd be unwise at this point to be conclusive about any of it. So him saying, that he was gone, or he thinks that or the conclusion of whatever. Loki's not gone, and we all know that. Like, Tom Hiddleston, do I think that we'll see Loki after Secret Wars? Likely not. Maybe not Tom Hiddleston. I don't know. But I do believe that his journey as Loki will come to a conclusion with Secret Wars, maybe with a bunch of the others that have been here since part of that OG cast. So, but as we said last week, and if you know the stories, Loki's not going anywhere. That was just Tom Hiddleston talking about the close of that 14-year journey with him. So, and also he started this journey. I didn't know that when he was on Jimmy Fallon. He started this when he was 29. He's 40 something now. That's just like, yeah. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. And the line in Thor 1 when he says, "Doing this for us, for all of us," that's an improvised line. I didn't know that either. He was talking about that. So Tom Hiddleston's likely not going anywhere. Not likely, but not going anywhere. We'll see him back as Loki before they close this messy chapter of the MCU. Before we get to, I don't even know, I might just loop this one in with that one, but I am going to loop this one in with that one. But before we get to that, we'll do Pedro Pascal and the rumors going on there. So we're not jumping into all the things that have been said about the Fantastic Four as far as the leaks and things go for the plot, because at this point I find that to be quite irrelevant because they can't even get a cast together. So let's see, ignore all of the leaks and things for the plot. Let's just simply talk what's currently going on with the Fantastic Four. We've heard at one point that Jake Gyllenhaal was in talks to be not only Mysterio in the MCU, but also show up as the Reed Richards, a part of this ensemble of the First Family. We also heard that we were going to see what are some other actors that were, it was Penn Badgley, they had dude from Lucifer, they had so many different people. So many different people
is funny.
that were supposed to play Reed. But now the newest report, and this one, I'm just like, at this point, I don't even know if I care anymore. I don't think I do. I really did care about the Fantastic Four. I really do love the Fantastic Four in general. But as far as what Marvel, the MCU is doing with them, I don't care anymore. It's been since 2019. We've gone through so many different actors as Reed Richards. Now with the reports saying that the focal point around the film is going to be focused more on Sue because they can't pin a Reed down. She's going to be more so focused, the focal point, and more so the leader of the team. Don't know if that's true now with these reports swirling up with Pedro Pascal reportedly being cast or coming close to a close of being cast as Reed Richards. I can't see Pedro as Reed. I don't at all. I do not.
No, I deadass compare that shit to that shit would feel like Liam Neeson to me, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right at all.
It just doesn't feel right. I'm not saying niggas is old, but
he doesn't even give me that Reed
vibe.
At all.
Give me that's what I'm trying to say. He's giving me Liam Neeson Taken vibes, protect your daughter and kill niggas with guns, not to outsmart you, outthink you, and then go.
Not at all.
Lead a family, be a No.
I can't even see him interacting as Reed. I can't even see him giving Reed Richards dialogue.
I just don't see that nigga in the suit.
That either. The Photoshop or the picture going around looks terrible.
Big as shit.
It just I just don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Boy, the way that suit was cutting that nigga neck off in the Photoshop, bro, that nigga head go be fat as
I don't get it. I don't want it.
I don't know, bro. Maybe it's just I see that nigga what's the HBO show, interacting with alien shit.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, maybe I just see him too much in that, and I'm just not seeing that in Reed. But I don't know. I just feel like that's who he is. Like, he's not about to switch up his whole way of acting.
When I think Pedro Pascal, my mind, I don't know, every time I think Pedro Pascal, it just goes here. My mind automatically goes to Game of Thrones. He's what was his name? I don't even remember the name. He was the prince of wherever the fuck. Him. That's who I think of every time, and I think of his head getting smashed.
Andre said it's not worse than Adam Driver.
No, it's.
And that's where I'm like,
well,
is it?
I was about to say, but well.
Because it might be. This might be like the worst, in my opinion.
I don't know. I might have preferred
not the way to go.
I didn't want Adam Driver either, but I sure as hell would have never. If this is the case, ever asked, if you would have ever asked me, do you, Pedro, bro, I would have never thought this name.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know I sound like a nigga hitting the same note over and over, but since niggas put Penn Badgley in the suit, that's where I was at.
That was mine. I always wanted Penn.
I don't know where this comes from either, because they're not gonna. I don't see why they're gonna cast him. I mean, like, if you said if it's still true and everything, why cast Pedro and then have Sue be the lead and everything? It's
right now. What
then,
is
like
it?
you said, I don't even see him communicating with like other Avengers.
No, I can't. I can't. But it goes back to some of the things that other people were saying too about the MCU, or not the MCU, the Fantastic Four franchise as being a cursed franchise when it comes to live action film or just anything in general, because they don't have good movies, live action films. I mean, yeah, you look at the 2000 ones and look like, oh, those are for that time, they were fine. I went back and watched them, I want to say in 2021 maybe, early 2022, I don't remember when. No. They're not like that, or anything like that, but so, and then of course there's the Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan one, and that one's just shit. So, I don't know what the MCU, what they're going to do with the Fantastic Four. I don't know anymore. I don't know. We're supposed to get the cast announced, what, the end of this week? It's the end of the week?
I'm pretty sure.
The end of this week, we're supposed to get the cast announced. We'll see. We will see. But Deadline did come out and say something. What were you going to say?
This cast, I'm just saying, if they're going to cast and cast going to be shit, then I don't even care for the movie. I really don't care for the movie now, knowing how much he gets pushed back and shit, but if they drop the cast and it's niggas like Pedro Pascal, I'm not going to agree.
It says, this is from Deadline. It says, after months of speculation over who might play Reed Richards, a.k.a. Mr. Fantastic, in Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four, the wait may finally be over. And they say this every single time someone is cast or rumored to be cast. Wait may finally be over. While a deal is far from done, sources tell Deadline that three-time Emmy nominee Pedro Pascal is in talks to play the leader of the iconic superhero team. Insiders add that scheduling is still being worked out, but multiple sources close to the negotiations are saying it's headed in the right direction for Pascal to do this and his other future projects. Pascal has a full dance card that includes Gladiator 2, which is expected to go into production before the end of the year, as well as his popular HBO series The Last of Us, which is expected to shoot next year, as well as Zach Kragler or whoever, weapons. And then it says Marvel, of course, had no comment. As for other members of the team, that can be worked out as it was essential to figure out who would be playing Richards before they could go out with offers to others. That's not necessarily true, because what's her name? I forget her name from The Crown. Is her name in here? Did they say her name? No, I don't see it. The girl's supposed to be playing Sue. I forget her name though. Because they pinned her down before. Yeah. It says this cast to fill out quickly with director Matt Shakman currently in pre-production at the Pinewood Studios in England. Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige will produce. Pascal has been on quite the run in recent years, including the Emmy-nominated role in the HBO series The Last of Us, as well as nominated for hosting Saturday Night Live, which was one of the more popular episodes of last season. He also has Zach Kreger's next film, Weapons.
Man, I just don't get how we go from excuse me, how we go from Krasinski in the suit and asking his family to play the whole family to not knowing who the fuck is who. And then, yeah, it's Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they did. I mean, I guess they had, and that's why, I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't even want Pedro in there if I know they're going to go more. Because if they already got their lock is Sue, I feel like the rumor is true that it's going to be more centered around Sue.
Yeah.
Just because that's who they're going to, like, if she was there first and they feel the most comfortable with her and her character, like, that they've cast and everything, she's probably going to be the center of the story.
I mean, and no one wants the role. I mean, you got to think about it too. You've got this was announced in 2019, just like Blade and some of the others. The script has gone through many rewrites. The cast has gone through many ups and downs or rumors and things like that. And maybe none of this is coming from Marvel. Maybe it's all just speculation or whatever. But, from the outside looking in, you're looking at the project and you're looking at all the people that are dropped or were on board and then weren't on board. It's like, is it cursed? Do I want to be a part of this? Who's playing Johnny? Is it dude from what's his name from Stranger Things?
Oh my god.
Is that who's playing
I
Johnny?
Hope not. Fucking I'm bad with names today. When we talked about it and we said no.
Yes.
We both disagreed with that shit.
Yeah.
No, bro. No thank you.
I think that's who's playing Johnny.
It should always, I don't know. Bro, put me in the casting office. I had a nigga Rudy there from Outer Banks.
It should have been Rudy from Outer Banks.
Yeah, that's what Raymond just said.
Yep. Rudy Pankow.
Who said that earlier? Go ahead. Let me scroll up and try to find. Just because it talks about how Hungry said Steven Yeun is Sentry and now Pedro is Reed. It looks like they're casting bad now. Like everything that was in Marvel's roots and everything started with casting.
Yeah.
I don't think fans used to ever really have an issue with any casting at all.
No.
Now
it's questionable. That's true. Marvel always, had a hand on casting. We never really questioned who they brought on, but this is not just this one. As of late, everything has been questioned. So,
man, who plays Shang-Chi? What's his name?
Simu Lee.
Bro, that nigga got casted and they immediately found his Reddit account. Like, bro, they've had some bad luck in the casting department. Like, cast Jonathan Majors now, all this shit come out. I'm not saying that was bad cast or anything. I'm just saying they've had some shit luck.
That's true. That is true. They have not had the best of luck. That's right. You're gonna have to. You gotta stop. Okay. Now you gotta get out.
Cornelius he said we need to stop. Pretty sure Cornelius on the Pedro side.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I think he said this will be better than anything that came out in Phase 4.
Fantastic Four will be?
Yeah, Cornelius said it'll be better than everything that came out in Phase 4. Pedro may step into his bag here.
Oh. Well, I am not optimistic for the Fantastic Four being better than anything coming out in Phase 4. I mean, I understand, Matt Shackman is attached, and I was a big fan of WandaVision, but it's a mess. First of all, I'm not going to really enjoy it if Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. I don't see him as Reed Richards. I don't know what bag he's stepping into as Reed.
Like,
I don't even like when he takes his helmet off as the Mandalorian.
It's literally the same feeling of Ezra Miller ain't feel like the Flash to me. I'm gonna have that same feeling. I'm gonna see that nigga on screen and I'm gonna be like, that just don't feel like Reed to me. Don't look like Reed. Don't sound like Reed. It's probably not a Reed.
I'm just not seeing it.
Probably not a Reed.
Just not seeing it. Not seeing it. But, you know, as always, questions for you guys. Let us know down below. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to this one. This is the one I want to discuss. But let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about Pedro Pascal, and if you are on board with him being Reed Richards. Do you think that this is something that is true, or is this something like all the others? Is this just a rumor, or just another person that is maybe actually down to play, but then we're going to hear later on down the line that, well, this is another person that's dropped as being Reed Richards, and maybe the Fantastic Four just won't happen. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. Maybe they do the Fantastic Four, we're just out Reed. Where's Reed? He died. Maybe they do a funeral for Reed at the beginning.
Shit, I mean, it'll be 2025. I can't say niggas will be interested. Johnny said Pedro has acting range though, so isn't that what should be more important? You can find someone that looks like Reed, but acting could be shit.
That's true. I mean, I'm not solely focused on the looks part, because remember, whenever I was so much against, and still was against Adam Driver, my main driving point with that, no pun intended, was how brilliant of an actor Adam Driver is. Adam Driver is a brilliant actor, and that was my main point. Even though I kept saying he looks shit for shit like Reed, he's just a brilliant actor. And I agree, Pedro Pascal is a great actor, but I can't see him, even with his range, I don't see him going in the range or direction of what I perceive to be Reed Richards from what I've read and what I've seen, and you know, things like, I don't see that in Pedro. It's kind of like when Funny Marco was talking to Bobby, and she was like, you know, what's your type, and he was like, you're not, I don't think you got that, like that's not you. And that's how I'm looking at Pedro. I don't think you got that. That's not you.
No, like I said,
it's not in you.
I'm dead ass gonna have that same feeling watching Ezra Miller's The Flash. Like, that's just, you are not that guy. Like, you are not that guy.
Yeah, no, I didn't want Matt Smith either. Matt Smith was another one I didn't want. I never understood that one.
D Steele said, I want Fantastic Four to be the best film yet. My fault. Got a burp. Big Fantastic Four fan. I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't want it to work, but it's just, like, especially given the history. But it's like, man, given the history of this one already, it's hard to be optimistic walking into that one.
Yeah. They gotta come with it at Hall H if they do it this year, or this coming year.
Awful. Raymond said, this is not it either. Penn or Krasinski, it's right there.
I agree.
Hungry said, Phase 4 should have ended with the Fantastic Four.
I think Penn's off the table.
I'm pretty sure he is. Diesel said, I'd say most casuals didn't care because they didn't know these characters.
We talking about F4? Who are we talking about?
I don't know. You don't have to elaborate. I didn't see. Grace said Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things is playing Johnny Storm, right?
Yes, Joseph Quinn, Stranger Things. Was that what was confirmed? I think so. I think that was the last time we heard that. The last rumor we heard about it was Joseph Quinn. And again, that's another. The only person I see as who they are is Vanessa Kirby. I think she's a good actress, and I also see her as Sue.
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like Reed is just the most important thing to get right.
He is.
Do it, and I feel like they're not really giving a fuck to do it. They're more so like, let's just cast a nigga that everyone likes right now.
He is. He is the most important. I mean, it's very. You gotta get it. Yeah, you gotta get it right.
The Raptor said, I'm telling you, Marvel could make a whole movie on Dr. Doom trying to save his mom's life in Liberia.
Yeah, made a lot of movies with Doom.
Triggerman said, why not just keep John Krasinski as Reed? There are multiverse Lokis that look identical. I mean, but there are Lokis that didn't look identical too, so I mean.
Yeah.
I still don't think they're going the route of casting multiple. I don't know. Maybe they do.
Multiple Dooms?
Reeds.
Oh, Reeds. I don't even know anymore. Probably not.
Raymond said the Fantastic
At one point,
Four,
I did think so.
the F4 franchise at this point is cursed. Some properties just can't really be adapted to the screen and don't belong on screen. Maybe F4 is one of those.
Yeah, I agree.
DCL said Pedro can act, but I don't see him playing a highly intelligent character like Reed. Reed's the egghead of all eggheads.
That's where I am with it. Pedro can act. I just don't see him pulling a Reed off.
That's what I'm saying. I see that nigga using weapons.
Yeah. Now, Andre said Doom.
Firearms.
I could see him as Doom before I could see him as Reed.
Same shit we said about Adam Driver, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dorian said, could they have brought Miles Teller back?
For Reed? No.
Cornelius said, stop going for Pedro with tomato.
You can't have.
Johnny said, Matt Smith and Vanessa Kirby got great chemistry, though, in the show The Crown. So I could see Matt Smith for Reed. It could work.
Yeah, they do. The Crown is great. They do. I just don't see Matt as Reed either. Yeah, this is my baby. You can't have my baby.
He still said Pedro couldn't play Steve Rogers. He couldn't play Thor. He would not be a good Reed. Yeah, I just don't see that nigga as a superhero, if I'm being honest. Like, maybe you said, dude, like, maybe some type of villain or some shit, but I don't...
Yeah, sure, maybe Doom.
I don't see that nigga being the spandexy hero that saves the day and shit.
No.
Let me see. Raymond said, just because you can act doesn't mean you should be in the role. Denzel can act, but that doesn't mean he should play T'Challa or Blue Marble or Blade. Back in the day, Denzel... Back in the day, Denzel, sure, but now I'm too old. We're talking Mr. Fantastic. This man is not Mr. Fantastic. Mole Man, maybe.
Mole Man.
Nutty. That's nutty. Unless you see any. Hungry said, what's next? Michael B. Jordan, Jon Stewart. Raymond said, if that Javier Bardem as Galactus news is true, that might save the cast in the movie for me. Will it, though?
I don't know.
Will it genuinely?
I have to see a trailer for it so I know. But I can't eat. There's no more rumors. No more this. I need to see a trailer.
Get in trouble. And then the Jinx said, I see Pedro as Mole Man before Mr. Fantastic. Omega said, after all these MCU movies so far, no offense, but maybe they should have focused on Ultron-level villain and not get into multiverse so early.
Could have done a Nihilus.
No. They'd done a lot of shit in the wrong time.
I agree.
Cornelius said it's the only reason he watched The Mandalorian.
Was for Pedro?
Mm-hmm.
I watched it because it was Star Wars.
Johnny said, I more care about the writing than the cast. Just write me a good film and find people that got acting range is what's important to me.
I mean, the same. Like I said, Pedro can pull that off. Hey, what did Kamala say? Captain, my captain. You can pull it off, yeah, but not.
You can go ahead, though. I'm caught up.
All right. Now, one of the things we've been talking about for quite some time is the ongoing drama with Marvel behind the scenes and Jonathan Majors in the public eye and the things going on with him and the alleged assault charges and everything like that. We're not diving into the assault charges or anything like that. We're not going to dive into any of that. We are going to take a look into some of the things going on with Marvel Studios, with Joanna Robinson. Everybody knows Joanna Robinson is the one that wrote the book. I forget the name of the book that came out that we were all talking about some of the quotes and things from that book, i.e. what some of them being how Tom Holland, Chadwick Boseman, and Brie Larson all sat around talking about how they were going to be the next big three, and some of the other things from behind the scenes they were talking about. As she was saying how Marvel was talking about possibly pivoting away from Kang at that time, and then Then we even saw from the Variety article that came out that was titled "Crisis over at Marvel Studios" and all the things that it pinpointed from the behind the scenes craziness going on at Marvel Studios. And one of the things that it highlighted was the things going on with Jonathan Majors and how Marvel may be also, once again, pivoting away from Kang the Conqueror. Now, when we watched Loki Season 2 finale, I had said, I don't believe that they are going to move away from Kang the Conqueror simply because of the way that the Season 2 ended. And the way that Season 2 ended was with them, saying that the TVA is currently trying to take care of Kang variants and things like that. They had taken care of a Kang variant that was adjacent to the 616 universe and things like that. So I thought to myself, well, there's that was them establishing that Kang is moving forward, things like that. But after further, more reports have come out about more that Joanna Robinson did when she did the most recent podcast interview that she did. And we're going to dive into that a little bit, where she was talking about some of the things that going on with Marvel and how they're going to, when they got rid of Jeff Loveness, it wasn't because Jeff Loveness gave a bad movie, it was because Jeff Loveness was so obsessed with the Kang the Conqueror stuff, and they were already thinking about pivoting away from Kang then. And at the time, when she said that, I was like, bullshit, they were moving away from Jeff Loveness because Jeff Loveness gave quite possibly one of the worst MCU films of this phase. But then I started thinking about it. If you go back, because this is what we do, we report on this stuff, and I typically try to remember some of these things that we've reported on, even if it was months ago, a year ago, year and a half, whatever. If you go back to when Quantumania was going on, one of the things Jeff Loveness said was he took a deep dive into Kang. He said he knows Kang inside and out. He said he dove into all of Kang's comics and things like that. So maybe that is true. Maybe it was because they removed themselves from Jeff Loveness. I still don't believe it was solely because his obsession with Kang, or he has already, as a writer, delving himself into Kang and everything moving forward with Kang. I think it also has things to do with how he wrote Quantumania as well. But that's something else that she said. So we're gonna look into some of the things that she's talking about. And I mean, CBR did a report over it. Before we dive into that, I'll do what CBR had to say here, because we're going to, something we never really do is watch another YouTuber's video, and we're going to watch New Rock Stars. And what New Rock Stars pointed out some things. But this is what CBR had to say about Jonathan Majors and some of the things going on. They said Jonathan Majors' Kang may not see a dynasty in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, according to new reports. Per Forbes, Joanna Robinson, another of MCU's The Reign of Marvel Studios, that's the name of the book, appeared on the House of R Ringer podcast, where she dropped a potential bombshell regarding Marvel's future. According to Robinson, the studio is dropping Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania screenwriter Jeff Loveness, which we've already known that for quite some time. We've known that for a while, actually, from writing duties on Avengers: Kang the Dynasty, or the Kang Dynasty, and in turn steering away from Kang the Conqueror as the main antagonist of the multiversal saga. Goes on to say, this is Joanna speaking, she said, I heard from someone recently, the screenwriter Jeff Loveness, who wrote Quantumania, was supposed to write the Kang Dynasty. Anyway, it's confirmed. I had it confirmed to me. He's no longer working for Marvel, Robinson said. I asked the person why, and they said that the reason why he is was all because he was all wrapped up in the Kang storyline, and they are likely going to move away from that storyline. Then she goes on to say, Robinson's claims about Loveness's departure from the next Avengers installment back up in an earlier report from Scooper My Time to Shine Hello, who heard rumblings about Michael Waldron no longer writing Avengers Secret Wars. While Disney has not officially confirmed the reports, evidence of Marvel cutting ties with Loveness can be tracked back to the critical and commercial disappointment of Quantumania, which featured Majors' Kang as the central villain. The studio was stunned by Quantumania as it reinforced concerns about superhero fatigue at the box office. The reports from My Time to Shine Hello says that Michael Waldron is no longer writing Secret Wars, so we both of those writers may be, or both of those writers do come from the Rick and Morty team, and they may be. We know Jeff Loveness is not completely confirmed that Michael Waldron is completely off of Secret Wars, but she did go on to say some more things. But we're going to see what we're going to go into what they said here at New Rockstars. We're going to be pausing, talking, because Eric was on, and again, I give credit where it's due. I'm not an Eric fan, I'm not a New Rockstars fan like that, but I give credit where it's due, and they were on to something here. So let's dive into this.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and with the Loki series ending in a finale that elevates Loki to a true god status, did Marvel Studios actually push the release of the series to give themselves a possible off-ramp from Kang and instead shift toward Dr. Doom as the new big bad of the multiverse saga? In this video, I'm going to break down the breaking news we've gotten from interviews with the Loki producers and from Marvel execs with Deadline, and a report from our colleague Joanna Robinson, co-author of the MCU Reign of Marvel Studios book, about a possible shift in Avengers 5 from Kang to Doom. By the way, there are still some seats left for our live show in Los Angeles on Thursday, and a public apology from me over my reachier theories from Loki this season. Okay, in an article from Deadline today, Marvel exec Kevin Wright, who was the rep from Marvel Studios Brain Trust assigned to the Loki series, he confirmed that the plan was to use this season of Loki and its themes to align the overall plan for the multiverse saga moving forward. He said, quote, "There is going to be a stronger emphasis trying to make sure everyone is working from the same sheets, the same script. I think that is partially trying to get these writers on the Loki side who had been living in this world to maybe hopefully populate into other projects so that they can help with that, or just better conversations among the producers internally. We've told almost 12 hours of Loki's story with the hope that they would come to us a little bit and go, hey, does this align with what you've been doing? It will probably help us out tremendously." So this would make it seem like head writer Eric Martin is going to play a very hands-on role with every multiverse saga story that's going to be told from here forward, including maybe some elements of Deadpool 3, but the Fantastic Four film, and Avengers 5 and 6. This article also included a confirmation that Loki is the god of stories. Deadline used those words, but they only use that term after getting confirmation from head writer Eric Martin and from Kevin Wright. When you're writing an article as a journalist, you include direct quotes, but you also include paraphrases, and God of Stories would have been confirmed by Eric Martin and from Kevin Wright when they were being interviewed for this article. Eric Martin said, "Going into season 2, it felt like an opportunity to bring gravity to the series to step up a level because we marched up to the line and got to the man behind the curtain, and the stakes got extremely high at the end of the season. Let's keep climbing, let's keep building that." The idea was always Loki would finally get his throne when it was the last thing he wanted, and like Atlas, he's burdened with this purpose, and his purpose is holding all of time together. He has replaced the loom. He's become so powerful that he alone can hold time together. Deadline said that even in the midst of season 1, the creative team knew that they wanted season 2 to take Loki from a lowercase g god to a capital G god, as Martin put it. And then Martin went on to say, then the work goes into like, how do you achieve that? Everything goes back to the fight in the Citadel at the end of season 1, which obviously we wanted to end up there at the end of season 2. But looming over season 2 is a question of like, well, who was correct, Loki or Sylvie? So the question became about exploring that. What is the new reality that they face? What happens when you remove the power structure and now there's kind of nothing more in this? So with Loki becoming a god in full control of the Yggdrasil time tree, that in effect downgrades the importance of Kang in the MCU, because Loki directly challenged the authority of He Remains in his system of timeline management, replacing a need for Kang in the MCU. And we even kind of hint to that with this reference to all the loose Kangs that have now been unleashed.
And as you may or may not know, my variants are already out there.
We'll find them.
There's too many.
I won't stop.
Doesn't matter.
Never stopped me before.
I know, champ.
He calls him champ. It's almost like He Remains is acknowledging, even if this line wasn't originally intended this way when they originally wrote it, but acknowledging that another multiverse mastermind can rival his power. When you have a Loki this powerful, do you really even need a Kang? The final minutes showed a case file recapping the events of Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania that they said was pretty much handled, as if it was like done. We have been trying to make this out. Actually, Adam Burns on Twitter made out that this Kang's variant number is K8910. There was a Kang from Earth 8910 in the Excalibur number 14 in 1989. I don't know if it's connected, but just by presenting this case file and the lines we heard Mobius say just made it sound like that case file is closed. Our merch inspired by Loki season 2 keeps branching in advance. You could be promised it will be dropped into your open window like Renslayer at Victor Timely's workshop. That's completely up to your relationship with your local delivery driver. And if you want to snag a Marvel's tee, we've got you a great way to head on over out from Marvel Studios in case they want to move away, as Kang is such an important character for their future plans. So Joanna Robinson, who, as the author of the best piece of nonfiction about Marvel Studios history, is really, in my opinion, the most reliable journalist with the best sources. She said in the House of our Deep Dive podcast into the Loki season 2 finale these words about what's going on.
I actually heard from someone recently. I was asking about the screenwriter Jeff Loveness, who wrote Quantumania, was supposed to write King Dynasty, and then it was sort of like came out that maybe he was no longer. Anyway, it's confirmed. Like I had it confirmed to me he's no longer working for Marvel, and that I asked the person why, and they said the reason why was that like his stuff, he was all wrapped up in this Kang storyline, and that they are likely going to be moving away from that. So no official announcement that Avengers: King Dynasty will now be called Doom's Dystopia or whatever. Like, no, we don't know like exactly what they're gonna do, to be clear. But I think that this just gives them the perfect opportunity to just be done. They want to be.
Whoa! So Joanna definitely has the highest credibility of anyone I know talking about Marvel and the way these executives are actually plotting things out. I don't think she would have said this if there wasn't some movement actually happening at the studio right now. So with Marvel delaying to 2025 all of next year's MCU films aside from Deadpool 3, it just seems like the studio is giving themselves some time to reconfigure things. There was that Variety report last week that said Marvel was, among many options, considering a pivot from Kang to Dr. Doom. But that article also exaggerated how big of a role Kang would play in the finale of Loki, so I don't know how much we could trust that article. But Jonathan Majors' domestic violence trial is now set to take place on November 29th. He did lose his bid to have the case dismissed. It's worth noting that Dr. Doom was really the central antagonist for the Jonathan Hickman Run of the Time Runs Out storyline that led to the 2015 Secret Wars crossover that, based on Reed Richards' dialogue in Multiverse of Madness, seems to be the primary storyline that the studio is adapting for the Multiverse saga. If they were to pivot back to Doom, in some ways it would be more in line with what the comics have already done. And yes, there was that little moment in the Loki finale in which Mobius told Loki about a kid by the Black Sea who would have grown up to kill 5,000 people, which geographically could be the country of Latveria, and a young Victor Von Doom. I don't know about that. Marvel Studios is expected to announce its Fantastic Four lineup in the coming weeks, and that might include a big announcement about a new actor to play Dr. Doom. Would a switch to Dr. Doom scuttle all the work Marvel Studios has done for Kang already? Well, aside from Loki and Quantumania, how involved has Kang really been with the MCU? I mean, who knows? Marvel could just continue to suggest that conflicts between Kang...
Okay, before he continues on, I want to say that on that part, that was been one of my biggest complaints about this. I said this last week, and again, by no means am I... We've always been on Jonathan Major's side here. I've not seen anything, nothing's been presented that I've seen yet that really proves anything toward him being guilty for anything at all. If anything, the evidence that's been presented has proven more of his innocence. But, as I said from the very beginning, it's always been a witch hunt. But with that said, one of the things I've said from the very beginning was, I think I said it last week, how many more projects are we going to get without Kang being established? Kang was not mentioned in Loki Season 2, which I really thought the finale was going to do that, because the article mentioned that. We all thought that was going to happen. But he hasn't been established. We ended, and I've mentioned this before too. I think I mention it every time. It's the thing with Thanos. Even though Thanos was not in every post-credit scene or every Marvel film, you knew his presence was looming every single time. You had of course, the fine, I'll do it myself. You had him mentioned in, he was in Guardians with, pulling strings with Ronan. You had him in, he was the one that gave Loki the spear, and everything. I mean, Thanos was always there. Kang's not fucking here at all. For there to be many he's not here. In the versions we are getting of him, what are they doing? We've got the He Who Remains. Yes, he can control and do whatever with his little wristwatch, but what the fuck else is he doing? We've got Victor Timely, who is a bumbling idiot, not an idiot, but a goofy, stumbling over himself and with, again, no power, no nothing, just a regular old guy. So what is it that why are we as the audience? Why are the Avengers? Why are anyone why are we supposed to fear Kang? You've not established his character. So is it really hard, or would it be hard for them just to pivot away from Kang because you've not established him even as the big bad? You established him as an inventor, honestly. I mean, nothing more. He's intelligent and he's got futuristic technology. That's it.
Said it. I mean, mean, just because Raptor Cloak commented that shit, I said it when we watched Guardians that the High Evolutionary was the best villain we got so far.
It was.
So,
he has been. He has been.
I think, on top of everything you said before we get back to it, I think, like, another thing, we knew what Thanos' goal was and what he was doing, and like the steps he was taking. With what we have got of Kang, it's kind of just, we know there's variants and niggas who know there's a multiversal war, but it's not even really Kang in the comics. It's just we know that. So it's like, thinking of it from an average movie watcher, it's like, perspective, no. It wouldn't really matter, just simply because you've stated over and over Loki's views were down. Season 2 at least. Season 1 they had him in the finale? Ant-Man, I mean, worst movie, Phase 4, potentially top 3, bottom 3 Marvel movies ever. So, as hard as the reality says to Jonathan Majors, like, it would be hard for me to part with him as the character of Kang. But would it be hard for Marvel to shift in a different direction? No, not at all.
No, not at all. And as much as, I would like to say that I was on the right track with them not getting, I do no longer believe Jonathan Majors is staying as Kang.
And it takes me back to what I said after the finale of Loki, when I was just like, I literally said, where's Kang? Like, did they not include him? You said it too, but I stated, like, the literal question, like, did they not include him in the finale simply because of what's going on and shit? Or did they reshoot something and go a different direction of just... Because still, all we've gotten is He Remains, and Timely was, like you said, he was cool, but I mean, even in the comics, the nigga not really a villain. He's not Kang. He's like, they're literally two different people.
And
so...
I mean, so we'll finish what he's almost done here, what Barrick was finished saying.
Kangs, and Loki's just made a big mess of things throughout the multiverse saga, and someone else could step in to clean up that mess. That someone could be Victor Von Doom. Imagine someone like Dr. Doom could exploit and take advantage of all of this chaos, because he would be capable of seeing a vision and an opportunity that those in the trenches of the multiverse war could not see. And that vision could be Battleworld, a vast conflict between Avengers and X-Men and Spider-People and Marvel villains to decide who belongs in the 616 universe moving forward. I want to know from you, who do you want to be the big bad of the multiverse saga? Doom or Kang? Please support us with one of these OB-inspired...
Everybody's going to say Doom. I don't want to speak for everyone, but for me personally, and I'm just going to because I have them from that specific comic. For me personally, it's always going to be, I mean, I said it even when we were doing Secret Wars, or when we were first talking Secret Wars. You can't, I don't know how you do, this is the, the Doom figure from the Jim Shooter Secret Wars. I don't know how you do Secret Wars without Doom. I've said that many, many times. Although I've always been high on the villain being Kang, I've always been like, okay, that, it's fine, but yeah, I still want Doom, but whatever, it's fine. But I've never understood doing Secret Wars without Doom, whether it be Jim Shooter's or whether it be Jonathan Hickman's version of Secret Wars. Doom is the central villain. Doom is the guy that is a part of everything. Doom was the one that figured out that Molecule Man was the key to everything, and became Emperor God Doom. It's just, I'm not against the pivot. I'm not against the pivot. I hate it for Jonathan Majors. I do. But as far as a storytelling aspect goes, if we're going to pick a villain that maybe if Kang was more established and they did more with him, I'd be like, no. I like where they're going with Kang, but I don't even like where they're going with Kang right now. I don't like where they're going with him right now. So if Doom has got to be the savior to this saga, then insert Doom. And again, I hate that for Jonathan Majors. I do. And it is a witch hunt, and that does not change the things in this man's personal life or things going on with him losing everything because of, lies and things like that. But when it comes to whatever they're trying to do within their company, their storytelling, as far as characters go.
No, like these Steves was set off rip. It didn't make sense playing Secret Wars without Doom.
It didn't. It never made sense. It never made sense. I just don't. Again, I don't know how you do it.
No, that shit. I mean, it's like, I'm at the point of where it's like, even if it got to that point, just because, in my opinion, Jonathan Majors has been so good, I mean, they definitely could coexist in a sense of Doom using Kang for something, but it's just, in terms of big bad and where we ultimately need to be, niggas said it from the jump. I mean, niggas said from the jump that we need to be starting with Fantastic Four and getting Doom inserted and getting all that initiated for Secret Wars and everything. I mean, shit always tastes so good telling niggas I told you so.
I mean, and then the
like,
question.
If you go back and watch some of our discussions and everything,
we've said this.
Said the same thing over and over, and it's not like I sit here and try to act like I'm right all the time, because I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not the smartest nigga in the room. But this is just a basic comic factor of like, it's like doing. It's dead ass like doing Batman no Joker. Or like, it's like it's not the goal.
I mean, again, it would be the equivalent of telling the Infinity Saga with no Thanos.
No, that's what it is. I was about to say, and that's what I wanted to use. But it's like, I don't know, because it's hard to compare to other things, because this is honestly one of the Secret Wars is one of the biggest comic runs of their issues and everything. It's like.
So
just from a standpoint of the writers and the director, just from a Feige standpoint, honestly, I don't know how that nigga let this happen. Getting into Secret Wars and letting everyone know Secret Wars is slated, but I mean, from the looks of it, at least at this point in time, not having a plan for Doom. Maybe they but I don't. Marvel, nothing's really secretly planned or anything in today's world. So.
Well, I've seen some people saying like, well, I don't know if I want them to do Doom because it's going to be like them rushing. They're going to be rushing to get Doom done. But how many times is Marvel always rushing and shit still comes out? I'm not trying to sit here and, has Marvel been shit lately? Yes, but when Marvel is on top of their A game, they are on top of their A game. And they're scrambling a lot of the time with somebody, a lot of our favorite Marvel films are scrambled films where it's like the last minute shuffling, doing last things that,
I'm willing to
doing
bet,
this or doing that.
I'm willing to bet if Doctor Strange 3 is fast tracked, it'll be better than Multiverse of Madness.
Like, probably.
It's just, I don't know. It's honestly how it works in Hollywood. Like, when they gets an idea and they're able, fast tracking isn't honestly a bad thing, in my opinion. Like, when someone has an idea and they commit to it and commit the money to it and it doesn't take long to get done, the longest part is always post-production, in my opinion, making things look right.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, like I said, it's unfortunate. It really is, because we've all been trying to go for Jonathan Majors and stand in support for him, and still do. But it just is what it is, and I kind of think a lot of us, even though a lot of us all said, and me included, said, we're not going to see. I don't think he's going anywhere. There were those times where you would look at stuff and the article would be like, I don't know, is he? Is Marvel going to make that decision? And even though nothing's official from Marvel right now.
It's always been in the back of niggas' minds.
Yeah, it's been right there every single time. And that's just been it. So I hate that. I hate that. But again, for the storytelling aspect, if I had to choose between the two, it's Doom. It's going to be Victor. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know if now this is going to change things for the writing of the Fantastic Four. If now, because Victor was never supposed to be a part of the Fantastic Four, maybe that is now something that's included. Maybe as a major part, maybe as a major post-credit scene, something like that. I don't know. But if they're going to get him in, you got to get him in now. And I'm not saying you do this thing where you put him on the table and where it's a piece or we hear a voice. No. Do it now. You got to do it now. You got to put him in now. You got to make him a threat now. You have to make him the threat that Kang was supposed to be, that he's not. You have to make him. You have to make it this thing, because like I said, Avengers 5 is whatever the fuck it's going to be called now. With Avengers 5, that's going to be our first Avengers film since 2019's Endgame. You have to make that threat since Endgame, in this whole new ensemble of heroes together. You have to make that threat so menacing, because it's like Feige said before when talking about in Endgame. How do we top that? What's our amount? How do we go bigger than that? So to go bigger than that, it was never Kang. Even though Kang's cool, the time travel stuff is cool. It was never Kang. To go bigger than that, it's Doctor Doom. It is, and that's not saying anything on Jonathan Majors. That's just saying simply the character of Kang was never the like. Can I put it this way? Can I use another example? Children's Crusade, I talk about all the fucking time. It's one of my favorite Marvel comic books. I love Children's Crusade, but do you want to know why Children's Crusade popped off the way Children's Crusade popped off? It wasn't Kang. It was because Doctor Doom was included in all that mysterious shit with the Scarlet Witch and him marrying her and then him coming in trying to kill her. That's what made Children's Crusade pop off. It was Doom. It wasn't Kang. And again, that's nothing on Jonathan Majors. I'm talking strictly characters in comic here. So if you had to choose between Doctor Doom, the threat of Doom, or the threat of Kang, I'm going with Doom every time. He's one of the best Marvel villains ever anyway. So I don't know who they're going to get to play him. Don't know who you get to play him. But maybe they're working on that. Maybe they're getting ready to announce that at the end of the week with the Fantastic Forecast. Who knows?
Are they?
Who knows? Who knows? But Hungry said Kang is not even Ultron level. And, like I said, I really do like Kang. That's not me saying I don't like. I do like Kang. I do. A lot. But it's just not in the cards for this one. It's not.
Cornelius said Kang is like a sophisticated Loki, which is probably why the Loki series worked.
Yeah. And then, it's like Eric pointed out, what is the use of Kang anymore? If Loki basically just can control, is what they call him, the god of stories?
Yeah.
If he can control the narrative of how something ends and begins, then what is the use of Kang? If Kang's whole purpose is he can control time, he knows what's going to happen before it happens, well, that's what Loki is.
Yeah, no. And if I'm being honest, I said that from the... I mean, it's cool having that Loki, but I said it from the jump. I didn't want that shit to happen.
Yeah, I didn't want that. I still don't want that Loki.
It's cool that nigga's strong as he is and everything, but that's the literal reason that comics stopped selling and that they had to change that variant Loki power, Strange's powers, because it's like, what do you do with that?
Mm-hmm.
When a nigga's able to just go back, and that's why I didn't like the Loki series, because once you know he can go back in time, the story's over.
The story's over.
And it's like, it's different with
over.
Infinity War and Endgame, because you know them, like, you knew someone was gonna die, so it's kind of like figuring out what and how they're telling and everything. There's the emotional element, but with Loki and even Dalton, like,
yeah, but see, the difference in the Endgame thing that you were just saying there is when they went back in time, there was they couldn't interact. Loki's going back in time. He's interacting. He's it's a very,
that's why
very
it's
different.
scrapped in the comics, because it's like, how do you write that? Like, how do you write a nigga into a story that can just go and he can't lose? Like, that nigga cannot lose.
He can't.
That makes all storytelling aspects uninteresting for me, just simply because I know.
I agree.
How do you defeat that nigga? Like,
genuinely
speaking, like you don't.
I agree.
And it's just, I don't know. It's like I said, it's cool to see, but I mean,
I agree.
Like watching, it's like if Thanos would have had all the Infinity Stones from the jump. Like, what else? What else is there to see? Like,
I agree.
He's already won.
You are not wrong. You are not. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody, you can continue with them. I'm gonna try to pull something up really quick.
Cornelius said, have Miss Minutes turn to Jocasta and have Ultron return. They can be a part of the multiverse chaos. Man. Another way they made it. What the fuck is Miss Minutes doing? I don't even know if anything with Loki.
I don't even know if that matters
I was about
anymore.
to say, and that's what I was just about to say after. If Kang doesn't matter and Loki's talking, because, I mean, Loki really is done until Secret Wars, until they need this nigga to rewrite the story. It's like I'm already knowing. And so, why would anything in Loki really matter?
Yeah.
Like, did anything in Loki really matter?
I don't know anymore.
Because
I don't know. I don't think. I mean, but does Miss Minutes matter if Kang's not around?
No, and it's
the TVA does not even matter anymore.
Ravona's not around either. She's still in the void, and
they never explain that shit.
And it's like another thing you could say is it really doesn't matter because the TVA is outside of time. So this shit really is just Thor thinks Loki's dead. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's no element of Loki you really take and insert into the wider aspect of the MCU if you're not taking Kang with it. I mean,
yeah, no.
Kid Loki, I guess, if you want when you do the Kid Avengers, but nothing detrimental to the Loki story. Raymond said in Earth-Minded series they use Ultron to help fight Kang. Imagine if we had them bring back Ultron to fight Kang, and Ultron, of course, in turn goes bad. Everything in Loki would be pointless because Kang is no longer a threat.
Like, look at this, bro. Like, this is from Children's Crusade. All of them after Doom. This shit was dope. It was a dope comic. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, man. I don't know. I just think that Doom is just the better move. The better move.
Grace said Kang compared to Doctor Doom is like comparing Darth Maul to Vader.
Yeah.
Raymond said Secret Invasion absolutely. Damn, Secret Invasion. Damn. Absolutely should have been an Avengers movie.
Yeah. We married to, or engaged to the Scarlet Witch.
Cornelius said, yeah, they definitely had to cut scenes from the finale because Ravona's scene is a cliffhanger. And how do you interpret that? That there had to be a scene where Kang was in the void or something.
Like I said, they made it a way to where they don't have to. They could pivot out of that story. I mean, it's the way that Eric was saying there. They don't have to tell that story anymore. They can tell it if they want, but they don't have to. And they've made it a way, like we've said with Loki, to where Kang is honestly irrelevant in the MCU.
No, that nigga really is. Like,
that is crazy to say. Like, that is so crazy to say.
The only thing I could really say is like,
that's wild.
Yeah, no. He's in the quantum realm and dead at the end of time right now. Like, they didn't even show what happened to him with Loki becoming the Loom, essentially.
No.
Damn. Hunger said, Ultron, Thanos, Doom, Galactus, Magneto, Apocalypse, all are bigger bads than Kang.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather watch, like, a well-written Mephisto being the devil in the MCU. I'm not lying. Grace said the second Kang didn't go get some raid out of his kitchen cabinet for them ants and convincingly defeat Ant-Man. It was a wrap.
Yeah.
Raymond said, so for the people who aren't into it, like, how do we explain to them, or how does Marvel do it, explaining that Ant-Man post-credit scene no longer has a point and leads to anything? Like, every post-credit scene since Phase 4 hasn't led to anything meaningful.
So my thinking, this is just my thinking, that they would do this. The way that they just kind of explained it at the end of Loki season 2 there, the TVA is taking care and pruning, or I don't know if they're pruning them because that would just be sending them all to the void. I don't know, taking more. Didn't she say they're taking more different measures than pruning them? I don't remember what Hunter P15 said, but getting rid of all the Kang variants. So we're going to still see the TVA's involvement from what we know so far, because there still may be rewrites with Deadpool 3, but the involvement in Deadpool 3 with the whole scooping up the multiversal Avengers and making that multiversal team or whatever. But is that even going to be a thing anymore? Because remember, the plot line for that was they were swooping that multiversal team up to take care of one of the Kangs. That may not even be a thing anymore. So they may not even have a role in Deadpool. But my thinking would be the TVA. The TVA would be your out for the Kangs, because you just simply have them going around taking care of the Kangs, because let's not sit and pretend like this incredibly powerful being that hasn't been shown. So, I mean, again, like someone just said, the raid and the ants just got beat by ants. So let the TVA just go take their little glowy sticks and get rid of him.
Yeah. Cornelius said, I think Den of Nerds had a theory of the TVA is making Battleworld or something when incursions happen. I don't know.
Josh's theory for Battleworld was that it was kind of the same thing. Well, the same thing like it is in the comics, but basically that the pieces of the incursions and things like that. What's his theory with the TVA? It might have been, but I thought he said something too about Doom, but I don't know. But you could be right on that. What he said.
Raptor Cloak said, better Doom than Galactus being used or established Silver Surfer.
Yeah. I bet you I get copyright for this.
Cornelius said, Adam Warlock should have been introduced in Endgame to help beat Thanos. Instead, he's a goofball because of Guardians Volume 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I was just getting asked the other day by someone why wasn't Adam Warlock in Infinity War. And there's just a lot of characters that, you know...
Civil War, Infinity War.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters that should be in the MCU that just aren't. Where's Doom at in this? Oh. Can I even play this? I don't feel like I can. I'm scared.
He is so despised by his people.
I don't know if I can do that. I feel like that's a no-no. Because isn't this shit on Disney Plus? I think this is on Disney
YouTube,
Plus.
Though.
But can I? Because I played that Kang shit of Jonathan Majors screaming.
I think Disney Plus just marks everything.
And we got hit for that.
Everything.
We got hit for the Avatar: The Last Airbender trailer. Yeah, I disputed that shit. I sent them a pretty long... yeah, this is the first one I've ever disputed. And I was like, yeah, fuck that.
But they have hired assassins to eliminate him.
This is from that...
Bro, I want to pause it.
I want to play it. This is from that Spider-Man... the 90s Spider-Amazing... It wasn't Amazing Spider-Man. It's the 90s Spider-Man animated series. The Secret Wars version. Their Secret Wars version was better than whatever the fuck the MCU's doing right now. And this was an animated 90s thing that involved just random heroes that Spider-Man met over the course of the series, and then they got thrown into this version of Secret Wars. If you've not seen it, it's pretty good. But
we've been flagged too many times. We don't want to race.
I can't. I'm sorry. I want to, but Marvel's on my ass, or whoever the fuck is tagging me and all this shit. So, but yeah, no, looks. We'll just have to really right now. It's a waiting game. We have to wait to see what's going to happen in Jonathan Majors' trial, even though I don't really think that really matters anymore. But we just have to wait to see what happens with the announcement of the Fantastic Four. Are they going to announce Doctor Doom? Are they going to insert Doctor Doom somewhere? Like I said, we've only got the one Marvel film coming out next year, and that is Deadpool. Yeah, you've got the Madam Web film with Sony, but within the MCU, you've only got Deadpool. And the implications of what the Deadpool's supposed to mean for the future of the MCU is going to be pretty crucial. So, with that coming out in 2024, later 2024, I think I got pushed back a little bit, then being able to do some rewrites and some pivoting and some whatever, I think we're going to start seeing the trickling away from Kang for sure. So, and I hate to even say that, but that's just what it is right now. So, but what are comments saying before we jump out?
Ricardo said if they pivot to Doom this early, that he's going to end up a major dump due to insufficient and improper character development.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying too. The rushing of Doctor Doom, it being, you know, them pivoting to him, is it them trying to fast track? Is it going to be a bomb? You know, But like you were saying earlier, not always fast tracking is a bad thing. So.
Cornelius said, or maybe Civil War Part 2 can really be X-Men versus Avengers in like 8 years, LOL.
Listen, I'm sick of pushing these 8-9 years. I'm about to be not giving a fuck.
D. Steele said 90s Marvel animation shows were the original MCU.
Yeah.
Dorian said, to be honest, for Secret Invasion, if they did it right, they could have introduced Doom in the same way they did in Avengers Assemble, where he captured Sue and figured out she was a Skrull.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, yeah.
Dorian also said, insert Kang somewhere in there. Multiverse of Madness should have had Kang at the... My fault, Kang at the end. They messed up by not giving him the same treatment as Thanos.
That is it. That's it. You know what? I bet you I can do that, though. You keep going. I bet you somebody's got that.
Raymond said, that's like Thanos surviving Endgame. What's the point in revisiting him? Yeah, no. Like, the fuck is the point of going back to Loki? Oh, we just watched my nigga go centuries ahead? Is that what that shit said? Like...
I don't know. Okay, this is still... I don't know if I can do this,
no,
but...
thank you.
Fuck. If I can, I'll just trim this shit out later.
No, thank you, man.
This is it right here. Every post-credit scene with Thanos. And he's established in every single one. I know. I can already feel the copyright.
They are not the cowering wretches we were promised. They stand.
We're going to skip a little bit.
Just keep tapping mute.
I know, right?
Is to court.
Right.
No, I'm not gonna lie, that was a little goofy.
But that was their first attempt at Thanos.
Boy, it's you.
They got better here.
Bore me. Demeanor is that of a pouty child.
Yeah,
and apparently, you alienated my...
I'm really not trying to get in.
No, bro. I mean, I already know it's there. I could just trim it out, but it's annoying.
But return to me again empty-handed, and I will bathe the Starways in your blood.
Thanks, Dad. Sounds fair.
Yeah. Remember that? They established him there. Got to see more of Thanos there instead of just, the... Because that first post-credits, this is my favorite one with him.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
You know how many times I've sent that...
Oh, that meme? Yeah.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah,
There's probably like over 30 Thanos memes in my phone. He said, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, man. They did a good job with Thanos, man. They did. Because that first post-credit scene with him, that's just Josh Brolin in a big-ass fucking mask. Did you notice the hand? That's actually his hand. That ain't no fucking big purple hand. That's... They didn't... Yeah, so... But they actually put a little effort into it. What's this one? Oh, is this the one from, This isn't a post-credit scene.
Trailer. This is Infinity War's trailer.
So this ain't a post-credit scene. I think that's all the post-credit scenes with them, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, then they have the trailers. Ah, what a great time that was to be a Marvel fan. Shit don't hit like that no more.
Man.
But, yeah, I mean, shit don't hit like that no more. Those were some good fucking times, bruh. To be a Marvel fan and during the Endgame and during that saga, fuck. If you want to rewatch the shit, just stop at that. It's sad. Star Wars and Marvel suffered the same fate. lot of fans stop after
Disney.
Yeah, after episode 6 with Star Wars, they do not claim 7, 8, 9, nor are we going to claim 11 or 10, 11, or 12 either. But same thing with the Endgame. In the MCU, it's sad, but no. So I don't know. They've got to, to me, do it in ways like that. I mean, not just in ways like that. I thought when Thanos first showed up and when we first fought them, that opening scene, obviously that's a great scene. But when he first fought them, like Tony on Titan, and God, the fucking fight between him and Strange.
Yeah, that's the top 2 scenes.
Tough. I mean, we're already on the copyright road.
That's why I'm so watch that nigga just regress.
I mean, this was peak MCU shit, bro. This was tough.
Now imagine me in the theater, nigga. Boy, I wish I could go back and watch this for the first time, nigga. I had so many chills.
This was great stuff, man.
Yeah, my nigga was ready.
We ain't seen Strange do shit like this since. Strange ain't done shit like this.
It's like they wrote bro powers into the stone.
Motherfucker threw a black hole at him, and he turned it into butterflies.
And my nigga, he's not even using the stone with this.
No.
Like, this is him.
Yeah, this is just...
He doesn't even have the stone on him. Nigga hit the images of... man.
This is just pure Strange.
Was fucking that nigga up.
Yeah. Tough.
Dupe that nigga. Got your ass.
Tough. This is one of my favorite ones too, though. He said, "Throw another moon at me. I'm gonna lose it." Yeah, that shit, bro. It's a good fight. Thanos looked fucking great. Thanos running through everybody in Wakanda. And he showed up.
In slow motion.
Yeah. This was some tough Iron Man shit, though, too. Yeah, this was tough on Tony. They gonna get me for the video alone. The sound ain't gonna be on. They gonna get me for the video. You know what I'm saying? You ain't slick. You know you just turned off the volume.
Even at this point, it's like, what can you do to stop this nigga? All that for a drop of blood.
But see, that's what I'm saying. We felt that with Thanos. I don't feel that with Kang. Yeah, you feel it here with Thanos. You can, like, all hope was lost at this point. He had just taken out Strange. He had just taken out everybody else. Just stabbed Tony. I remember being in the theater, everybody just gasping, yeah. The tears, everybody like, oh my God.
Grab that nigga head like a pet.
He's like, I'll make sure they remember your name, Stark. It's just telling you, bro. It's good shit. Good shit. I think he said, I hope they remember you. Some great fucking acting from Robert Downey Jr. Just great. Just great. Now, hold on. Let's just... Let's just put it into perspective, okay? I want us to see. Hold on, wait a minute, wait. Not yet. We're having fun now. Hold on.
Hold on, you about to That's a good where you feeding Hulk.
No. One of my other favorite ones. When he's beating the fuck out of Iron Man, Cap.
Yeah, bro.
Thor without the stone. He said, let's kill him properly this time. That dialogue there is just tough as shit, too.
Stream unavailable.
Oh, no. Oh, pivot. Pivot.
Everybody like they got him. He said, God damn, they got him. Shaking my head.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What are they saying? Your stream's been temporarily blocked because of, oh, wait a minute.
Told y'all niggas.
Oh, man, I swear. They hate me. They be detecting my shit quick as fuck. How come Eric Voss can put the whole ass Loki talk between
I don't be getting that shit.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Is the stream still gone?
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy. Oh, like, is it over?
Yeah, that shit's done. They took it offline.
Oh.
I mean, no, it says still live.
Oh, but it said suspended.